Imagine stepping into your garden and seeing soil so rich, so alive with beneficial organisms, that your plants seem to grow effortlessly. Picture rows of vegetables that resist pests naturally, retain moisture through the hottest summers, and produce abundantly year after year. This isn't a gardening fantasy, it's the reality I've created in my own garden using a method that completely abandons traditional tilling. What if I told you that the secret to extraordinary soil health isn't about what you add to your garden, but what you stop doing to it? Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on my no-dig humus building method that has transformed not just my soil, but my entire approach to sustainable gardening. For decades, gardeners have been told that tilling is essential for healthy soil. We've been conditioned to believe that turning the earth creates the perfect seedbed and incorporates organic matter effectively. But here's the shocking truth. Every time you till your soil, you're essentially performing surgery on a living ecosystem without anesthesia. The moment those tines penetrate the earth, you're severing fungal networks that have taken months or even years to establish, destroying the very infrastructure that makes soil fertile and resilient. When you witness a freshly tilled garden bed after a heavy rain, you're seeing disaster in action. The soil, now loose and disconnected, washes away in streams of brown water, taking with it precious topsoil that nature spent decades building. This erosion doesn't just rob your garden of nutrients, it disrupts the delicate balance of microorganisms that form the foundation of plant health. These beneficial bacteria, fungi, and other soil organisms work in harmony to break down organic matter, cycle nutrients, and create the soil structure that allows roots to breathe and water to penetrate deeply. The concept of living soil represents a fundamental shift in how we understand our gardens. Rather than viewing soil as an inert growing medium that we must constantly amend and manipulate, living soil is a dynamic ecosystem teeming with billions of organisms working together to create optimal growing conditions. This underground community includes mycorrhizal fungi that extend plant root systems, beneficial bacteria that fix nitrogen from the air, and decomposer organisms that transform organic matter into plant-available nutrients. When we till, we destroy these relationships and force ourselves into an endless cycle of inputs and interventions. The revelation that changed everything for me came from just observing how nature builds soil. In forests, prairies, and other natural ecosystems, nobody tills the soil, yet these environments support just incredible plant diversity and productivity. Nature builds soil from the top down, layering organic matter season after season until it, decomposes into rich, fertile humus. My no-dig method simply mimics this natural process but accelerates it through thoughtful material selection and strategic layering. The foundation of my system begins with what I call the suppression layer, typically cardboard or several layers of newspaper laid directly over existing soil, weeds, and all. This layer serves multiple purposes. It suppresses existing vegetation without chemicals, creates a barrier that prevents weeds from emerging, and eventually decomposes to feed soil organisms. The key is making sure this layer is completely wet before adding any subsequent materials, since moisture is just crucial for proper decomposition. Above the cardboard, I create what gardeners often call a lasagna of organic materials. The first layer consists of nitrogen-rich greens, like fresh grass clippings, kitchen scraps, or even fresh manure. This is followed by carbon-rich browns such as fallen leaves, shredded paper, or straw. The ratio isn't as critical as many composting guides suggest. Nature doesn't measure precisely, and honestly, neither should you. What really matters is creating diversity in your materials, making sure there's enough moisture and building layers thick enough to suppress weeds while providing substantial organic matter for decomposition. The transformation that occurs over the following months is nothing short of magical. As soil organisms colonize the organic matter, they begin the process of decomposition that creates humus, the dark, stable organic matter that gives fertile soil its characteristic black color and crumbly texture. Earthworms migrate upward, processing the organic matter and creating nutrient-rich castings. Fungal networks establish themselves throughout the layers, creating highways for nutrient and water transport. What began as a pile of organic debris becomes a living, breathing soil ecosystem. The differences between no-dig beds and traditionally tilled gardens become apparent within a single growing season, but the contrast becomes dramatic over time. In my no-dig beds, I've observed plants that exhibit remarkable resilience to both drought and excessive moisture. The improved soil structure created by undisturbed fungal networks and earthworm channels allows water to infiltrate quickly during heavy rains while maintaining moisture reserves during dry periods. This natural water management system reduces irrigation needs by up to 50% in my experience. Weed pressure, the bane of every gardener's existence, diminishes significantly in established no-dig beds. The thick mulch layer prevents light from reaching weed seeds, while the improved soil biology creates conditions that favor desired plants over weeds. When weeds do appear, they're easily removed from the loose, well-structured soil, and their removal actually contributes organic matter back to the system. I've found that after 2 years of no-dig management, weeding time is reduced by approximately 70% compared to tilled beds. Perhaps most importantly, plants grown in no-dig systems demonstrate enhanced natural pest and disease resistance. The diverse soil microbiome supports plant immune systems in ways that scientists are only beginning to understand. Plants with access to mycorrhizal networks show improved ability to communicate chemical distress signals and receive nutrients from neighboring plants. This creates a garden ecosystem where plants support each other, leading to more stable and productive harvests with fewer external inputs. Now, it's kind of amazing to realize that your decision to embrace no-dig gardening isn't just about your own backyard, it's actually part of a global movement. By adopting these practices, you're joining gardeners and farmers all over the world who are working to restore soil health, conserve water, and reduce reliance on chemical inputs. So whether you're just starting out or looking to deepen your no-dig journey, every small step you take helps build a healthier planet for everyone. Your individual choice to adopt no-dig methods extends far beyond your garden fence, contributing to solutions for some of our planet's most pressing environmental challenges. Soil represents one of Earth's largest carbon reservoirs, and healthy, undisturbed soil actively sequesters atmospheric carbon dioxide. When you build humus through no-dig methods, you're participating in carbon farming, transforming your garden into a carbon sink that helps mitigate climate change. Studies suggest that widespread adoption of no-dig agriculture could sequester billions of tons of atmospheric carbon annually. You know, the biodiversity benefits of no-dig gardening really create ripple effects throughout local ecosystems. When soil is left undisturbed, it supports these complex communities of insects, arthropods, and other small creatures that actually form the base of food webs. These webs go on to support birds, amphibians, and mammals. Plus, the permanent mulch layer provides habitat for beneficial insects, including those predatory species that help control pest populations naturally. And yeah, pollinator populations, so crucial for wild plant reproduction and our food security, benefit from the diverse flowering plants that thrive in no-dig systems, not to mention the reduced pesticide use that healthy soil biology makes possible. No-dig methods also address water quality issues at, the watershed level. By preventing soil erosion and cutting down on chemical inputs, these practices help protect streams, rivers, and groundwater from agricultural pollution. The improved water infiltration in no-dig soils reduces stormwater runoff, which decreases flood risks and helps recharge local aquifers. When these actions are multiplied across millions of gardens, they really do contribute to landscape-scale environmental restoration. Beginning your no-dig transformation doesn't require wholesale garden renovation or expensive materials. You can start with just a single bed, or even a small section of your existing garden, to test the method and build up your confidence. It helps to choose an area where you can easily observe changes and where a little success will encourage you to expand the system. The real beauty of no-dig gardening lies in its accessibility. Most materials can be found locally and honestly, often free of charge. Alright, let's talk about materials and timing. So when you're planning your no-dig garden, it's important to gather all the right materials ahead of time. You'll want to think about when you'll have access to things like leaves, grass clippings, or manure, since these are often seasonal. Timing is key. If you start collecting in advance, you'll have plenty of resources when you're ready to build your garden beds. And, making sure everything is on hand before you begin really saves a lot of hassle down the line. Gather cardboard from appliance stores or online retailers, making sure it's free from plastic tape or, excessive ink. Collect organic materials throughout the year, fallen leaves in autumn, grass clippings in summer, and kitchen scraps all year round. Many municipalities offer free wood chips from tree trimming operations, and honestly, local farms often have aged manure available too. Coffee shops frequently give away used grounds, and restaurants may provide vegetable scraps if you ask. Building relationships with these material sources creates a sustainable supply chain for your soil building efforts. So, the timing of your no-dig bed creation can actually be pretty flexible, but honestly, fall offers some of the best conditions. Autumn's abundant organic materials, those moderate temperatures, and the upcoming winter dormancy period all work together to allow maximum decomposition time before spring planting. That being said, beds can really be established any time of year, as long as you select the right materials and manage them properly. The real key here is to keep adequate moisture and give enough time for the cardboard layer to break down before you do any direct seeding. Just remember, no-dig gardening is really a journey of continuous learning and observation. Every garden presents its own unique conditions, so successful implementation means adapting the basic principles to your specific situation. It helps a lot to document your progress with photos and notes, tracking changes in soil texture, plant health, and, overall garden productivity over time. This kind of record becomes super valuable for refining your technique and sharing what you've learned with other gardeners. Your garden can actually become a demonstration site for sustainable agriculture, inspiring neighbors and friends to maybe reconsider their own soil management practices. Be sure to share your successes and challenges openly, contributing to the growing community of gardeners who are showing that working with natural processes creates more productive and resilient growing systems than trying to fight against them. The transformation, well, it really does await beneath your feet. Every gardener who embraces no-dig methods becomes part of a quiet revolution that's healing the earth, one garden at a time. Your soil is ready to come alive. Are you ready to let it? If this guide has inspired you to start your own no-dig journey, make sure to subscribe to Smart Garden for more sustainable gardening techniques. And, hey, share this video with fellow gardeners who are ready to transform their soil naturally. Your garden and the planet will thank you.